I'm Peter, and welcome to another edition of F5 DevCentrals Lightboard Post of the Week. And this week, our question comes in from Murali. And he says, and the title is actually Big IP APM Policy Sync. So let's just do, policy, SYNC for our post of the week. So he has, so they have big IPs deployed in 4 data centers in an active standby mode. So let's just draw those over here. 1, 2 DC, 3 DC, 4 DC, and of course, and these are all in active standby, so failover pairs in each of the data centers. And so they're using Big IP Access Policy Manager for VPN, designed by the engineering team, and he's trying to understand the auto sync policy. So being able to change the policy, the APM policy on one box, and then having it sync not only to the failover pair, but the various other pairs in the other data centers. They have 3 device groups. We've talked about device groups in articles before, and setting the device groups, and particularly, at what point do we fail over to another device group, depending upon how many are available, within the pool. They have full sync and for manual, and then sync only, automatic sync, and then they also have the sync setup for the failover pairs. And so he's trying to understand how the APM policy gets synced automatically. And so if he makes the change in one box, does it automatically then populate to the other box? And I thought this came in, just like 2 weeks ago, and kind of something that I was interested in, because I've been writing a lot about failovers and device groups and those sorts of things. So, and then finally, he talks about there are 3 different types of configuration synchronization on the F5 devices. There's the TMOS, the DNS, and the APM policy. So let's take a look not only at his particular question and answer it, but overall, what are the types of things, and what are the things you need to do to ensure the synchronization, whether it be of the base config, the DNS settings, and or the APM policy as requested in this question. And so our answer actually comes from Leonardo Souza. He is actually an ex-F5er from many years ago, now an independent consultant. We did a featured article on Leonardo just a couple months ago, I think either August or September. And a couple of things we have to keep in mind with this. So first, the device group, or the device group name, if you set it up. Now this attribute determines the scope of the synchronization, and that is the specific devices to which the system synchronizes the contents of the associated folders. And so, the device group name, so we'll just be DG1, he's in it, he's in it, he's in it. So the actual devices that are within the device group to then synchronize to, so which devices. And then the traffic group name is another one to keep in mind, and that determines the scope of the failover action. And so that one, not the devices in this case with the traffic group name, but the specific configuration objects that will fail over once the device becomes unavailable. So let's take a look at each of our modules within a common partition. So let's just do a COMM partition, ION. If my handwriting is, there we go. And so first off, let's just do LTM. So Big IP LTM. And so on Big IP LTM, there is no extra configuration necessary, and the configuration is synced based on the device group setup. And so that includes the Big IP the big IP.conf file. And so that's the one that would get synchronized back and forth. Specific to big IP, APM. So APM also no configuration necessary, as the APM configuration is part of the bigip.conf file. So it is synchronized based on device group name. If we go AFM, Advanced Firewall Manager, is also kind of based on big IP LTM. No additional configuration necessary, based on the device group settings. The bigip.conf file gets synchronized. AFM AVR also. No additional configuration. Things get synced. You do it on one box, sync to the other, it gets synced. And then AAM, which is our Application Acceleration Manager, the combination of our old WAM and WAM solutions. And this too, so AAM, similar to big IP LTM, where the conf file gets transferred. And so in a lot of ways, this could kind of fall under just the TMOS synchronization thing. Now, a couple of the ones that don't fall under this would be our old school GTM or big IP DNS. And in this situation, the synchronization is done automatically, but you need to enable the synchronization of the DNS settings and define a sync group name within GTM/big IP DNS. And this is specific to synchronize, if you want to synchronize DNS zone files. DNS zone files. And so that is separate or different than the ones that fall under just the bigip.conf file. So syncing DNS zone files would be something specific to big IP DNS, old school GTM. And so defining the sync group name. And then also, what could be missing here? I bet you know it's the Web Application Firewall, Big IP Application Security Manager, ASM. And with ASM, you need a special setup in the ASM config of which device group here should be used. And so the device group that is set up for ASM should show the line. It should say ASM-sync enabled. That's how you will know if your ASM settings are getting synced. And so if you're missing this part and other device group names, that might be one of the reasons why ASM might not be syncing over if you have an active standby pair. And so the ultimate answer to the APM policy sync question would be, you need to change the APM policy in one device, apply the policy on that device. Now that's also obviously important. You'll get the little indicator that a change has been made and you need to then activate and move forward with that policy. So you apply the policy and then sync it to the other devices. And you do that within device management, overview, and then all the sync settings are in there. So big thanks to Murali for your question on the big IP APM policy sync. And certainly a big thanks to Lorenzo, and we'll put their profile links and obviously this specific question within the description of this video. High availability, boys and girls, kind of the day in, day out stuff. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. I'm Peter, and we'll see you in the community.